I have got a jacuzzi that has been leaking for the longest time. And as you see, there's been a lot of putty that has been put around there over the years, and about every 3 months I need to actually re-putty it. So this time I am going to actually fix it by cutting out some of the concrete around the drain and filling it in with some hydraulic cement. So if we look at the drain, you can see that there's been years and years worth of putty put around there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to chisel it all away and then get the grinder and grind a little channel in there and then fill it in with hydraulic cement. All right. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plug the drain and output holes with these guys so that I don't get anything in there, and this way I know for sure that it's clear. All right, so I got it started, and all I'm using is just this little chisel and a hammer, and right away I'm seeing that there is a lot of wet concrete here. And there's definitely a gap between the PVC of the drain and the concrete. So my plan is to go down maybe about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch so that there's enough hydraulic cement that is in this hole, or in the channel, I should say, to adequately fill between the existing concrete and the PVC. I have been chiseling away to make just a channel, just so I could make sure that when I ultimately do get the grinder in there, that I'm not messing with the PVC part of the drain. The other thing that I'm finding, and if you look really close, there is about an 1/8 inch channel that is maybe about 3/16 of an inch down from the top of the drain that I'm trying to make sure that I preserve. I do have a feeling or strong belief that that is part of the leak prevention / hydraulic cement adhering mechanism. So I'm trying to preserve that as best as possible. And yeah, so I'm just going to keep doing a little bit more chiseling, and I just want to get enough of the existing cement and Diamond Bright away from the PVC. So again, when I get the grinder in there, I'm not messing it up. All right, so I've gotten to the fun part of the project, which is the grinding phase. And before I start that, you'll notice around the edges or around the corners here, I didn't really get in there that good. It was really difficult to even chisel. So I'm thinking that those ends were not an issue at all, and all along it's just been these parts that have been leaking. Like I said, it's in there, concrete and diamond bright are in there really tight. So again, what I'm going to do is just try to make a really nice line here and a really nice line on this side. You know, the goal is to just grind out a channel to leave enough room in there for a really good hydraulic cement seal. So, all right, here we go. So that did turn out better than expected. And as you can see, got a really nice radius there that we were able to do with the grinder. Again, I'm gonna need to chisel some out, but I'm gonna do the same to the other side. So I've gotten to the point where I have chiseled out enough concrete, I believe, to make a good seal down there. And what I'm talking about is, I mean, I just wanted to expose some of the wall of the PVC so that the new concrete mix could fit up really good against there. You can see I started prepping the surface with some duct tape there as well. What I plan on doing is I'm going to paint the existing concrete with this bonding agent. And then I am not going to use hydraulic cement. I'm going to use this polymer modified structural repair stuff. I did call the folks at Quikrete and ask them what would be best, either this or the hydraulic stuff, and they suggested this. They said that nothing is going to bond to the PVC, but this is probably the closest to the gunite that was originally used. So I'm going to use that. So I'm going to paint this on first and then trowel that in, and we'll see what happens. All right, so I got the Quikrete to slightly runny consistency, not like super runny, but my intent is to have it like that so that I could get into all the nooks and crannies here. So here we go. All right, so I've cleaned everything up. The cement is in the process of drying. While you were away, I continued to mold the concrete around the PVC a little bit more. Yeah, I do plan on putting a layer of Diamond Bright on top of this. I did want to leave a little bit of a gap between the floor of the jacuzzi and like the rail here, the top rail of the PVC, so that I can get as much Diamond Bright in there as possible. All right, we'll see what's going to happen, and we'll be back. So it's been about 3 days. I've let the modified polymer, concrete, Quikrete stuff dry up, and things are doing pretty good so far. We've actually had some rain over the last couple of days, and the water is holding in the jacuzzi, which is a great sign. But everything right now is dry, and I am going to start the surfacing process, or the re-diamond brighting. I'm going to use this stuff right here, and there are some videos on this Easy Patch stuff on YouTube. The prerequisites for it were to rough up the surface a little bit, which surface is already kind of rough, and there's an optional acid washing. I'm not going to do that because the surface is pretty clean. So I'm just going to mix it to specs and do the application. All right, so I was able to only do 1/2 of what I needed here with one of those jugs of Diamond Bright. So now I'm going to complete the other side. I just bought another one of those containers. I should have bought a five pounder instead of a 3, I believe. But anyway, as you can see, there's a really nice surface here. The Diamond Bright doesn't match up exactly to where I had it before. So I'm gonna go ahead and start mixing up the stuff to fill in this side. I already know that I've fixed the leak because since the last time we were here, there's been about 30 gallons of water accumulation in here. So things are looking good. Let's get this Diamond Bright in, and I think we'll call it a day. I did some cleanup. I took off the duct tape that I had there and dry vacked out all the little dust particles, but now it is, I think, complete. So I'm gonna let it dry for another 24 hours or so, and then we'll fill it up. I think we're done.